I have titled this video, Using Dreams as a Safe Testing Ground for Real-Life Scenarios. Have you ever had a dream that felt so real that you wished it would never end, or a nightmare that was so terrifying you hoped its circumstances could have turned out a bit different? Upon awaking, we typically immediately think to ourselves, that was the best dream ever, or what a nightmare, or thank God it was only a dream. While it's perfectly normal to have this reaction after an exciting or unpleasant dream, what we overlook and fail to realize is that the happiness, stress, anxiety, and excitement we experience in our dreams during these artificial scenarios generate real emotions and actual psychological responses. Properly utilized, these dream scenarios can allow you, the dreamer, to turn your dreams into a testing ground, so to speak, to experience and try out possible real-life scenarios. To help you understand this concept, I want to share a dream that I recently had. This dream scenario proved to be the perfect testing ground to evaluate my own psychological and emotional responses under the given artificial circumstances in a dream, or in the dream. In this dream, my wife and I were at our vacation home in the Caribbean country of Belize. Also present in the dream was my 3 children and my mother-in-law. In the dream, our house was literally right on the riverside. At the start of the dream, I was outside our boat, or my boat, getting it ready to go and have a family picnic on the water. Right as I finished getting the boat ready and trying to get it cleaned up, it started to rain and storm actually pretty hard, I guess like you would expect in a tropical rainforest or anything like that during rain season. I soon realized that our family boat trip was pretty much canceled, so I decided to go inside into the house. When I got in the house, we decided to have a large family meal in the kitchen as a family. On one side of the table was my kids, sitting on the side that I was on, and on the other side of the table was my wife and my mother-in-law. I remember in great detail how peaceful it was just sitting down for this family meal while listening to the wind outside and the rain on the windows. The sounds were really relaxing. And then all of a sudden, my wife looks at me from across the table and says, "Everyone, I have an announcement to make. I'm pregnant." And then shortly after that, the dream ended. Now, let me explain where the content in this dream came from and why the felt and perceived emotions in the dream are significant in relation to the real life scenarios that my wife and I have been contemplating, and why I think the dream actually manifested itself. Well, for starters, in real life, my wife and I don't actually live in Belize, nor do we own a boat or a Belizean property. While the scene was indeed a fabrication of the dream, we have, however, for years talked about the idea of one day moving to Belize. We've always wondered what it would be like to live a slower-paced lifestyle rather than our current fast-paced lifestyle with its demanding schedules. While we have imagined it, it's hard to actually experience what that type of emotional peace and lifestyle would really feel like during our current situation. In the dream, however, because I believed to be currently living in Belize without a present care in the world, I was able to actually experience the true emotions, in a sense, of such a lifestyle. Now it's time to move on to the part in the dream where my wife states that she is pregnant. For starters, my wife is not currently pregnant. In our current situation, an unplanned pregnancy would not be an exciting situation for my wife and I. However, over the last 2 years, my wife has mentioned that she would like to have another child under the right circumstances, meaning if we were able to avoid the high cost of medical care and live a slower paced life in which an additional child could receive the necessary time and attention he or she deserves. Our current lifestyle would make these requirements nearly impossible. However, I have mentioned to my wife that one day when we move and slow down a bit, I would revisit the idea of having or adopting another child. In the dream when my wife broke the news, because I believed I was living a much more relaxed lifestyle in a more affordable society, her being pregnant didn't faze me. It was actually I was actually very happy and optimistic upon hearing the good news. Because the dream subconsciously had all the wishful pretenses I expected in a more desirable lifestyle, I was able to experience the possible real-life emotions and psychological reactions of such a desired scenario. Keep in mind, this can also be done in reverse with dreams, which may not be as pleasant as the dream I've previously outlined. For example, if you have a dream about something you've been hoping for and the dream turns out to be a nightmare, or your emotional reactions are just not what you expected, this dream could be a good tool in reevaluating your sense of value in this desired goal or the object's projected value in the dream. The dream may show you that what you once wanted so much may not be everything you thought it was cracked up to be. To ensure that you understand this concept, I want to use a few examples of some dreams that I pulled from Twitter and read you the dream and then tell you just how that dream is perceived or could be used as a real life test ground as a test ground for a real life scenario. So the first tweet starts out as, I had a dream we drove out to Las Vegas together and lost ourselves in the bright lights. I wish you could have seen us. This dream has some subtle similarities to my dream. In this dream, the Twitter user seems to have had a dream of him and his girlfriend running off to Las Vegas. This dreamer was able to experience the temporary emotional thrill and excitement of running off to Las Vegas, Nevada with his girlfriend. For some, dreams like this can motivate a person to take extreme measures in fulfilling their desires, such as packing one's bags and literally riding into the sunset to find happiness. The second tweet is, I had a dream I dropped my phone in a pool. Worst dream ever. Now, this dream shows that the dreamer would more than likely be pretty emotionally distraught if she damaged or lost her cell phone. I am positive after having this dream, this poor girl probably watched her phone like a hawk in the preceding day, especially if she was around a pool. The dream has effectively helped her to better prevent losing a lot of money and potentially her sanity. The third dream is, I had a dream last night that I grew my hair out real long like Brad Pitt. In this type of dream, if the person liked the hairstyle and believed it to be real, he probably would like it in waking life. If in the dream he absolutely didn't like it, I'd say it's a safe bet he wouldn't ask his hairstylist to give him the Brad Pitt special. This dream succeeded in giving him a sneak peek of the desired hairstyle, effectively avoiding humiliating himself in normal waking life. So, the next time you have a very realistic dream, when you wake up, immediately write the dream down in a dream journal. Take some time to evaluate how the dream scenario made you feel emotionally. Finally, I'd like to recommend a book called Lucid Dreaming, 99,000 Opportunities for Awareness. The book is by Teresa Martin. while the title is called Lucid Dreaming, this is not a book on how to lucid dream or lucid dreaming techniques per se. This covers a new popular term known as lucid living. This is essentially what I have actually described above. Lucid living is the idea of examining and evaluating one's dreams and relating them back to one's waking life, just as I did in the outline of my dream above. By doing this, you can effectively use your dreams as a safe testing ground to strategically make more effective decisions in life. So this concludes this particular lecture, and thanks again for listening, and I will talk to you all again soon.